Grand blessings, grand risings. Good morning, everybody. I hope that everybody is doing absolutely amazing, right? I know that I am. I had a very chill workout. It was really, really nice. I didn't really want to get up this morning to work out, y'all, but I pushed through and made it happen, right? Because if I want certain results, there are just certain things I have to do. But I wanted to get on and share with you all this morning about some of the things that hold us back in reference to what we're trying to hold on to. And trying to hold on to certain things, it prevents us from being able to move forward. It prevents us from jumping that particular hurdle that we often feel is a barrier. What I have learned, and I learned this very early on in my therapy sessions, is that, Alexis, you have to be willing to take off the mask. You have to be willing to disassociate with thoughts and beliefs and images of yourself that, one, no longer serves you, two, that doesn't fit into what you're trying to do in the areas that you're trying to grow in, right? And we can get so attached and so enamored with what was and not be kind enough to ourselves and gentle enough with ourselves to understand that this thing or this concept, this theory, this belief, this identity, this image no longer serves me. And we struggle because we are still, a lot of times, let me put it this way, a lot of times we struggle because we don't want to let that thing go. We don't want to let that part of us die, I guess. I don't necessarily know if that is the right thing to say. You know, we don't let it go. We don't release it. And so we get stuck and we feel like, oh, why is it not happening? And like something has to be wrong, or I need to do a little bit more of this, or I need to do a little bit more of that, when sometimes it is just so simple as taking off the mask, right? But we get so accustomed to the social mask, right? And the mask, when you really think about it, we like to say it's for people, but the mask is really for self. Because with the mask, I get to hide. I get to pretend. I get to not be my true self. You know, I get to run. I get to shrink myself. I get to put on this particular air that I know deep down inside of me that's not really there. And we get so accustomed to the mask that even when we get home, we don't take the mask off. And so when I am trying to grow or I've reached this obstacle or a barrier in my life, and I keep trying to figure out like what, like I can't jump it, I can't get over it, I can't do any of these things. In my opinion, in my professional opinion, I just think sometimes it is because we are trying to hold on to something, right? We're trying to, hold on so tight to that identity and hold on tight to that title, right? And we don't understand that a part of being able to grow and move beyond where we are is non-resistance. And so there is something that is in us that when we find ourselves in this space of not being able to get over, that we're being non-resistant to. And sometimes that being, that we're being resistant to. And sometimes when we do that, we don't understand that it is a part of me that I'm trying to hold on to, right? You know, in one of my videos, I talked about my hair. Like, I just woke up one morning and I just cut it off. Like, girl, like, what is this? What is it doing for you? But that was my thing. But that was one of the ways that I decided to find freedom. Like, what is going to happen if you cut it off? Like, are you going to die? Like, are you going to stop breathing? Like, what is it? And I just did it because somewhere in me, my hair identified me. Like, it did something for me. But I didn't want to feel restricted anymore. I mean, there are a whole lot of other things like that that came along with, like, not with me cutting off my hair, that I realized, like, oh my God, you mean to tell me I spend like 8 hours in the salon? Right? Like, that is crazy, you know. But nevertheless, but me moving forward, or just waking up and saying, listen, I'm just going to do it, and I'm just going to allow it to be what it is. I practiced, in that moment, I did non-resistance, right? And I just let go what I thought made me, what I thought defined me, right? And so we have to really, like, be in this space of being, of our willingness to, one, have the conversation about what am I holding on to that may be stopping me from getting across this hurdle or getting across this barrier, and that is preventing me from truly growing to this next level of myself. And why am I holding on to it? What is it doing for me? Like, what is it really doing for me in this space that I'm in? You know, and being able to be one with that conversation. You know, like, a lot of accomplishment or a list of things we want to accomplish, a lot of that stuff is based on what we were taught. You know, graduate from school, high school, go to college, get a job. Go to college, get a job, get a husband, buy a house. And it's all of these things. And we're trying to, and I'm just using that list as an example. We're trying to live up to these things that we have created. And it's like, man, I'm 40. Like, is this the list that I even need to be trying to fulfill? Like, I'm trying to hold on to an idea. I'm trying to hold on to, because that's what the group of us, the group that I'm in, you know, that's what, you know, we decided we were going to do. But now it's time for me to grow, and I don't want to release that. I don't want to release this image that I had of myself at 20, 25, 30, and I'm not 40, and I'm still trying to live up to that. You know? And it's like, why? Why am I doing this to myself? And I had to do it like in quite a few areas of my life. And, you know, I definitely would get caught up. Oh, what are they going to say? What's going to happen if I do this? If I say that? And it's like, Alexis, girl, stop it. Stop it. That is not the way to the kingdom. And I had to be just one with saying, I can't do this anymore. I definitely can't do this anymore. I no longer want to be defined by that. I don't want to morph into this thing that is an illusion to my existence. And I had to make a decision about what I no longer wanted to serve me. And if anything that was going to get in the way with me evolving and growing, thank you for serving me. I thank you for the things that I have learned in this belief system. I thank you for the things that I shall be able to take with me as I move to this next level of growth. But I don't want this for myself. And if this is the belief or the thought or the idea or the image that is diluting my growth, then I don't want to take that anymore. I don't want to let that be the seed that grows in the garden of my mind. I need to plant some new seeds in my mind that is going to help me elevate myself, elevate my thinking, and move beyond this existence that only keeps me in bondage. And so you have to really just make up in your mind to say, listen, let me face myself. Let me take a sheet of paper and really write down the things that I have been doing and that has gotten me nowhere. And everybody's this is going to be different. But you have to want it. I don't know any other way to say it. You have to want it. Your desire to grow, to evolve, or whatever one wants to call it, has to be greater than your desire to stay stuck. And again, I go back to agreements. What are you in agreement with that is hindering you, that is stopping you from growing? There is a saying that says you are the sum of the 5 closest people to you. I don't know how true that is, but I've heard some very amazing people say that, and I'm not an aficionado on it, and but it's definitely something to think about. You know, who are the 5 people that's closest to you, and what do you all talk about? You know. But you gotta want it. You got to want it. Like nobody can do this work for you. Nobody can do this work for you. Nobody can eat your food and you get full. Nobody. And I can't like say it any other way. You have to be willing to relinquish the images and the identities and the beliefs and all these things that you think define you, that is not getting you anywhere. And release that in love and light, and find out at the core of who you are, like, what do I really want to do? What do I really want? And start taking those steps towards that. But the first step is you got to be honest with yourself. You got to be real with yourself. You got to, and you have to be willing to take off the mask. I am Alexis Cole. Thank you for sharing space and time with me. And until next time, talk to you later. Love you much. Bye-bye.